श्री गणेश शारदा गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरः ओम। Today we are going to see about Namah Shivaya. The Panchakshara mantram is the Taraka mantram. We are going to see various references for that in the Vedas, Upanishads, Itihasas and Puranas. So there is not a mantra that is equal to or greater than the Panchakshara mantra, and that alone is described as the Taraka mantram. There is a misconception that Rama Namam is Taraka mantram, but no, Namah Shivaya, the Shiva Namam alone is the Taraka mantram and not Rama Namam. We are going to see the references for that. So first is Atharva Shiras Upanishad. Atharva Shiras Upanishad is one of the very oldest Upanishads, which has been even quoted by Bhattabhaskara, Udayanacharya, Jyotirnatha, Ghantanatha, personalities who appeared 1500 years back, great Shaiva Acharyas. They have mentioned about this Upanishad, and this Upanishad has like nearly 30 Upabrahmanams, 30 supporting facts, where Brahma and Vishnu recite this Upanishad for Lord Shiva. We saw various references. If one can check out the Atharva Shiras Upanishad lectures, 3 lectures I have given in my channel, one can look at the various references that Atharva Shiras Upanishad has in the Puranas and Dharma Shastras and Artha Shastras, being chanted by various Maharshis and being chanted by Brahma and Vishnu for Lord Shiva. In the Atharva Shiras Upanishad, there are 13 beautiful names describing Mahadeva, and one of the names is Taram. What is the meaning of Tarakam? Tarakam means the one which liberates you from the repeated cycles of birth and death. That is described as Tarakam. And Mahadeva is described as Taraka. Atakasmat uchyate taram yasmat ucharyamana eva garbha janma vyadi jara marana samsaram aha Bhayat tarayati trayate chatasmat uchyate taram. Now why Mahadeva is called as Taraka? Because just by mere recitation of the word Tarakam, and just by the mere recitation of his name, one can transcend the repeated cycles of birth and death, and one can go beyond birth, old age, disease and death. Because every Jivatma is wanting to get rid from the repeated cycles of birth and death. That is the goal. That is the goal of human life. And to get rid from the repeated cycles of birth and death, Sharanagati should be done to Mahadeva and Parashakti. So just by reciting the name of Lord Shiva, one will go beyond birth, old age, disease and death. Whereas if you surrender to other personalities like Brahma, Vishnu or Indra, you will keep taking repeated births and deaths. Brahma, Vishnu, Indra, Munayor, Janma, Mrityu, Jaraditaha, because they are bound by birth, old age, disease and death. The Upanishads and Puranas describe in that way. And then, Atakasmat uchyate pranavaha yasmat ucharyamana eva rig yajug sama atarvangirasam brahma brahmanebhyaha Pranamayati, Namayati, Chatasmat Uchyate Pranavaha. Why it is called as Pranava? Why Mahadeva is called as Pranava? Just by mere recitation of his names, one gets the benefit of chanting all the mantras, Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharvana mantras. One gets the benefit of chanting all the Veda mantras. We saw Rudram is the essence of the Vedas. Just by chanting Rudram, one gets the benefit of chanting all the 7 crore mantras in the entire Vedas. Sapta Kotishu Mantreshu Mantraha Panchaksharo Mahan Brahma Vishnavadi Deveshu Yata Shambur Mahattaraha. There are 7 crore mantras in the Vedas, but availability is 20,000 mantras in the Kali Yuga. But of all the mantras, of all the 7 crore mantras, the foremost of all is Namah Shivaya. Mantraha Panchaksharo Mahan Brahma Vishnavadi Deveshu Yata Shambur Mahattaraha. Just like among all the Devas, Samba Shiva is the supreme reality. There is nothing that is equal to him. There is nothing that is greater than him. He is most exalted, Samba Shiva. He is much greater than Brahma and Vishnu. Just like that, the mantra that is related to Samba Shiva, Panchakshara mantra, is the Shrestha, is the best of all the mantras of these, is the best of all the 7 crore mantras in the Vedas. And then the same Upanishad says, Atakasmat uchyate omkaro yasmat ucharyamana eva pranan urdva mukta kramayati tasmat uchyate omkaraha. Omkaraha is also one of the names of Lord Shiva. Just by mere recitation of it leads one to the higher regions. The highest region is Parakailasha or Mahakailasha. There is nothing that is equal to it. There is nothing that is greater than it. All the other worlds like Brahmalokam, Vaikuntham and Indralokam are material. You are bound to destruction. They keep changing. Brahma, Vishnu and Indra keep changing. And their worlds are also material. So one who goes back there has to fall down. But one who goes back to Parakailasha, Mahakailasha, there is no return from there. So just by reciting this Omkara or the Shiva Namam, just by reciting Shiva Namams, it leads one to the higher regions. Now we saw 3 names, right? Taraka, Pranava and Omkara. And Mahadeva alone is referred to as Tarakeshwara, Omkareshwara, Pranaveshwara. There are various talams, various temples available where Lord Shiva is addressed as Tarakeshwara, Omkareshwara, Pranaveshwara. He is the Lord of Taraka. He is the Lord. He is the center of attraction. He is the Taraka Mantram. He is the Lord of that. He is the Lord, ultimate Lord, who liberates the Jivatma from the repeated cycles of birth and death. From the blade of a grass till Vishnu, everybody are Jivatmas, and he liberates the Jivatmas by giving the Taraka Mantram, which is the Namah Shivaya Mantram, and he liberates them ultimately from the repeated cycles of birth and death. That's why he is called as Tarakeshwara, Pranaveshwara and Omkareshwara. He is the Lord of Om, Omkareshwara. Omkareshwara is one of the Jyotirlingas. So that's about Atharvashira's Upanishad describing Lord Shiva as Taraka. Moving on to Atharvashika. Sarvebhyo dukkha bhayebhyaha sam tarayatiti taranat taraha. You are Taraka. Mahadeva is described as Taraka. Because just by surrendering to Mahadeva, you cross over all the fears and pains ultimately. And that's why he is called as Tarakam. Sarva Deva Veda Yonihi Sarva Vachya Vastu Pranavatmakam. The Pranava alone refers to all the Devas. And we saw Pranaveshwara, Omkareshwara is Mahadeva. He is the Ishvara of all the Devas, including demigods like Brahma, Vishnu and Indra. And then Chaturthi Ardhamatraha. So, Chaturthi Ardhamatra sa Somaloka Omkaraha. Now, Mahadeva is described as that 4th, that is the Turiyam state. It is Vaishvanara, Taijasa, Prajna and Turiyam. Chaturthi Ardhamatra sa Somaloka Omkaraha. He is described as the 4th state. Avastha Tritiyatitam Turiyam Brahma Samhitam Brahma Vishnavadivihi Sevyam Sarvesham Janakam Param. The Lord of Brahma and Vishnu, that Mahadeva Samba Shiva, is described as in the fourth state of consciousness, Turiyam. This is present in the Pancha Brahma Upanishad. Hriditvamasi yonityam tisro matraha parastusaha. Atharvashiras again says, you are beyond the 3 modes and you are beyond the 3 states of consciousness. Sa esha urdvam annamaya tityomkaraha. Just by reciting the name of Lord Shiva, one gets uplifted to the higher regions, as told in the Atharvashira's Upanishad. Hence he is called as Omkareshwara. And then finally the Upanishad ends by saying, Shiva eko dhyayaha shivam karaha sarvamanyat parityajya samasta atharvashikaitamadityat vijo garbhavasad vimukto vimuchyata etamadityat vijo garbhavasad vimukto vimuchyata iti satyam Upanishad. Shiva eko dhyayaha. There is nothing. Just cast aside Brahma, Vishnu and Indra. They are not worthy to be meditated. They are bound to destruction. If you want to cross the repeated cycles of birth and death, if you want to cross the ocean of samsara, if you want to cross the repeated cycles of birth and death, you have to worship that personality who is beyond birth and death. And that is Mahadeva alone. That's why the Upanishad finally says, Shiva eko dhyayaha. Do nothing but just meditate on Mahadeva. Spread the glories of Lord Shiva. Do Shivanama Kirtanam. Shravanam Kirtanam Shambhoho Mananam Cha Mahattaram. Shravanam Kirtanam Shambhoho Mananam Veda Sammatam. Hearing the glories of Lord Shiva, chanting the names of Lord Shiva, meditating on the form of Parashakti and Paramashiva within the heart is equal to reading the Vedas. Mananam Veda Sammatam. Shiva Mahapuranam says that. Moving on, Bhasma Jabala Upanishad describes Taraka Mantram as Panchaksharam. Om ityagre vyaharet nama iti paschat tatah shivayeti aksharatrayam. Natas tarakah paramo mantraha tarako ayam panchaksharaha. So here the split up is described. Om ityagre vyaharet nama iti paschat. Om Nama and then Shivayeti Aksharatrayam. Shivaya. 3 aksharas are there. Om is 1 akshara. Nama is 2 aksharas. Shivaya is 3 aksharas. Om Namah Shivaya. 6 aksharas in total. Shad Aksharam. People who are initiated under a proper Shaiva Guru can chant Om Namah Shivaya. Others can chant Namah Shivaya. So the Panchaksharam. Namah Shivaya is the Panchakshara mantra, which comes in the center of the Vedas too, which we are going to see. And there is nothing that is greater than this. This alone is Tarako Ayam Panchaksharaha. Mahadeva says in Bhasma Jabala Upanishad. This is Taraka Mantram. This Panchakshara Mantram alone is the Taraka Mantram. There is not a mantra that is greater than this Panchakshara Mantra. And then there is a question. There is also another question, which is what is called as the Shaiva Taraka Mantram. Ko ayam shaivo manuhu shaivas tarako ayam upadishyate manur avimukte shaivebhyo jivebhyaha shaivo ayameva mantras tarayati sa eva brahmopadeshaha. What is called the Shaiva mantra or the Shaiva Taraka mantra? So the Panchakshara mantram is described as the Taraka mantram which Kala Rudra imparts in the ears of the person who is dying in Kashi. So that's why Kashyam tu Maranam Muktim. Whoever dies in Kashi, be it an ant or be it a lizard or be it animal or be it a plant or be it a human, anybody who dies in Kashi, they get the Shiva Sarupyam. Shiva Sarupya Mukti, that is, they get the form of Lord Shiva and they go back eternally to Parakailasha and they serve Mahadeva. They get the chance to serve Parashakti and Paramashiva eternally. There is no coming back. And it is also described in their travel to Parakailasha, they are served by crores and crores of Brahmas and Narayanas and Indras. Brahmas and Narayanas and Indras, they fold their hands, they lift their hands up and then they glorify that Jivatma which is traveling to Parakailasha. They feel that, oh, okay, fine, this Jivatma has got the chance. It has been liberated. It has become a Jivan Mukta and it is traveling to Parakailasha. How fortunate this Jivatma is. And then they offer their humble obeisances. Brahma, Narayana and Indra, they offer their humble obeisances to the Jivatma which is traveling to Parakailasha. This is also told in the Kashi Kandam very beautifully. So, Kala Rudra. We are going to see that in Jabala Upanishad. Kala Rudra is different from Parameshwara. We saw that from the left hand of Paramashiva, during the time of creation, from the left hand of Paramashiva, Narayana originates. From the right hand of Paramashiva, Brahma, that is the Hiranyagarbha, originates. And from the Hridaya, Rudra originates. Brahma and Narayana are Jivatmas, but Rudra, he has the partial Amsha of Paramashiva. So he imparts the Panchakshara mantram, the mantra for attaining Lord Shiva, Samba Shiva, who is beyond the 3 modes of material nature, to all the Jivas, in the ears of all the Jivas who die in Kashi. That is what is told in the Bhasma Jabala Upanishad. And then the Upanishad goes on to say, Bhasma Jabala Upanishad, Brahma Somo Aham, Pavanaha Somo Aham, Pavate Somo Aham, Janita Matinam Somo Aham, Janita Prithivyaha Somo Aham, Janita Agnehe Somo Aham, Janita Suryasya Somo Aham, Janitendrasya Somo Aham, Janitota Vishnoho Somo Ahameva Janita. Janita means I beget. Lord Shiva says, I along with Uma. So Parashakti is referred to as Uma, Ambika, Himavadgiri Kanyaka in the Vedas and Upanishads. Very beautiful. And she has various names. Lalita, Aparna, Annapurna. Tripura Sundari. So these kind of names, very beautiful. Lalita Sahasranamam and Parvati Sahasranamam describes the beautiful 1,000 names of Parashakti. So Mahadeva says, I along with Uma, Soma means Shiva plus Uma is Soma. I along with Uma beget all the demigods. We are the Sarva Karana Karana and we are the cause of all the demigods like the fire, the sun, Indra, Vayu, Vishnu, moon and all the devas and all the worlds too. We beget all the worlds from the blade of a grass till Vaikuntham, everything is bound to destruction. All are material worlds. And we are the cause of all those worlds. That's what Mahadeva says. And this is connected to the Rigveda mantram and Samaveda mantram. Somak pavate janita matinam janita divo janita prithivyaha janita agner janita suryasya janitendrasya janitota vishnoho. Soma, Parashakti and Paramashiva is the cause of the entire universe and the heaven and Agni, Surya, Indra, Brahma and Vishnu. This is present in the Rigvedam, 9th canto, 96th chapter, 5th verse. It is also present in the Samavedam, Purvarchika, chapter 5, Shloka 527 and Samavedam, Uttararchika, chapter 5, Shloka 943. And this is also present in the Bhasmajabala Upanishad. And an Upabrahmanam is also present. Various Upabrahmanams for this mantra, for this Veda mantra is present in the Puranas. So this is about the Bhasmajabala Upanishad. And Brihajabala Upanishad talks about Mrityu Tarakam Guruna Labdam Kante Bahau Shikayam Va Badnita. Mrityu Tarakam. The Guru, when the disciple gets initiated into the Shiva Vishishtadvaita Parampara Sampradaya, the Guru ties the Mrityu Taraka. Mrityu Taraka here refers to the Rudraksha. Just like how Shiva Namam is described as Tarakam, the Rudraksham is also described as Tarakam, which is very dear to Lord Shiva. The Bhasma that you apply all over the body and the Bhasma that we apply on the forehead is also described as Tarakam. So here Mrityu Tarakam is described as the Rudraksha that the Guru gives to the disciple, and that should be tied, that should be worn on the neck, or that should be tied in the right arm or in the tuft of the hair. That's what it is described in the Brihajabala Upanishad. And the Brihajabala Upanishad goes on to say, it goes on to talk about a story where Lord Shiva initiates Vishnu into Panchakshara mantra. He initiates Vishnu into Panchakshara. He gives Panchakshara Diksha to Vishnu. Mahavibhuti Damiti Shiva Vakshasi Stitam Nakenadaya Pranavenapi Mantriya Gayatriya Panchaksharenapi Mantriya Harimastaka Gatreshu Samarpayet. So, this is a very famous story which is told in the Brihajabala Upanishad, where Lord Shiva, he comes and then he initiates Vishnu into Panchakshara Diksha by reciting the Gayatri mantra, and also by reciting the Panchakshara mantra he initiates Vishnu into Panchakshara Diksha, and he applies Bhasma all over the body of Hari. And then he requests Vishnu to meditate in his heart. And Vishnu does that, and he looks at a divine lamp. And then Mahadeva says, your knowledge is incomplete. So you have to do Bhasma Snanam. Tato Bhasma Bhakshayeti Harimaha Harastataha Bhakshayishye Shivam Bhasma Snatvaham Bhasmanapura. You engage in doing Bhasma Snanam, that you have to bathe with the Bhasma and eat the sacred ash, eat the Bhasma. And then Vishnu does that, and then again he meditates in his heart, and then he looks at a divine Purusha. Shuddha Spatika Sankasham Trinetram Vibhujam Shivam Varadam Dakshino Haste Vamecha Abhayadam Vibhum Panchavarshiya Papusham Sharachandra Yutadyutam. He looks at the divine form of Mahadeva, very beautiful divine form of Mahadeva, Samba Shiva, Chandrasekhara, Nava Yavvanam. He realizes that the personality who is standing in front of him is the one who is residing in his heart. And then he falls straight at the feet of Mahadeva. And then he says, Na shakyam basmano jnanam prabhavam te kuto vipo namastestu twameva sharanam gataha. He says, Vishnu says, I cannot even understand the glories of the sacred ash. Oh Mahadeva, how can I understand your glories? So I surrender only to you. I surrender only to you. Is a very beautiful story that is told in the Brihajabala Upanishad. Bhasma Mahima is spoken of, and here Lord Shiva initiates Vishnu into Panchakshara Diksha. That is the Taraka Mantra Diksha. He gives Diksha to Vishnu. Rudraksha Jabala, this same story is also present in the Padma Purana, Patala Kanda, 105th chapter. So Rudraksha Jabala Upanishad, very similar mantra is there. Mrityu Tarakam Guruna Labdam Kante Bahau Shikayam Va Badnita. Mrityu Tarakam, Rudraksha, that is given by the Guru to the disciple, is to be worn on the neck or to be tied in the hands or in the tuft of the hair. So that is Mrityu Taraka. That is the Tarakam. Rudraksha is compared to Tarakam. So that is present in the Rudraksha Jabala Upanishad. Kaivalya Upanishad talks about Tasmad Avimuktam Ashrito Bhavatyatyaashrami Sarvada Sakridva Japet Anena Jnanamapnoti Samsararnava Nashanam Tasmad Evam Viditvainam Kaivalyam Padamashnute Kaivalyam Padamashnute. Iti Satyam Upanishad. So Tasmad Avimuktam Ashrito Bhavati. Avimukta, the word Avimukta is another name for Kashi or Varanasi, Banaras or Anandavana or Rudravasa. Avimukta is a very beautiful name. Kashi Kandam talks about the glories of Kashi along with Lord Shiva and Annapurneshwari. Very beautiful. So just by reading the Kaivalya Upanishad and just by following and engaging in bhakti to Mahadeva, one will attain that Tarakeshwara, Mahadeva, and he becomes an Atyashrami. And Atyashrami is the final ashrama. It is beyond the four varnas, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi and Atyashrami. Atyashrami is a Lingadari. The one who has done Lingadaranam, who has taken proper initiation from a guru, and he is referred to as Atyashrami as per Mahadeva in the Agamas. Atyashramam Pashupatam Shambhavam Tat Shirovratam Ityevam Namabeh Punyer Nigamanteshu Giyate. The Vedas talk about Atyashrami being a Lingadari. Mahapashupata. Sarvada Sakridva Japet Anena Jnanamapnoti Samsararnava Nashanam. Just by worshipping Mahadeva, just by chanting the names of Mahadeva, just by engaging in Shiva Bhakti, that the ocean of samsara, that is the Jivatma escapes from the repeated cycles of birth and death and then attains the lotus feet of Parashakti and Paramashiva. And there is no return from there. So Kaivalya Upanishad. And Jabala Upanishad, coming to Jabala Upanishad, the word Avimukta, Kashi is referred to many times in Jabala Upanishad by Jabala Maharshi. 9 times Avimukta is referred to in the Jabala Upanishad. In the Jabala Upanishad, Brihaspati Maharshi addresses Yajnavalkya Maharshi. Avimuktam vai Kurukshetram devanam deva yajanam sarvesham bhutanam brahmasadanam. Which is that Kurukshetra, which is the divine place, divine worship of all the gods and the abode of the supreme reality. And the reply comes from Yajnavalkya Maharshi. Tasmad yatra kvachana Gacchati tadeva manyeta tad avimuktameva idam vai kurukshetram devanam devayajanam sarvesham bhutanam brahmasadanam. That avimukta is described as the Kurukshetra, the ultimate place, the Mukti Kshetra, the Moksha Kshetra, and that is where the supreme reality resides. The owner of Kashi is Mahadeva. Annapurna Sameta Kashi Vishveshwaraya Namaha. Annapurna Sameta Kashi Vishwanataya Namaha. Mahadeva resides there and he is the supreme reality. And here is where Yajnavalkya Maharshi goes on to say, here is where Kala Rudra, who is the Amsha of Paramashiva, he imparts the Taraka Brahma. Taraka Mantram is imparted in the ears of the Jivatma who dies here. Kala Rudra imparts the Panchakshara Mantra. Panchakshara Mantram is Taraka Mantram. Namah Shivaya. We saw that in the Bhasmajabala Upanishad. That is the Taraka Mantram. He imparts that mantra to the person who dies in Kashi. Atrahi jantoho praneshu kramamaneshu rudras tarakam brahma vyachaste येनासावमृति भूत्वा मोक्षी भवति तस्मात् अविमुक्तमेव निषेवेत अविमुक्तं न विमुञ्चेदेवम् एवैतद् याज्ञवल्क्यः. So Yajnavalkya Maharshi, he says that Kalarudra imparts the Taraka Mantram, Panchakshara Mantram in the ears of the Jivatma who dies in Kashi, and finally the Jivatma becomes immortal by going back to Parakailasha, Mahakailasha, and there is no coming back from there. So the Jivatma attains salvation. And then, so finally he says, do never abandon avimukta. The person who really wants salvation or immortality, moksha, should surrender to Mahadeva and should not abandon the place avimukta. Avimukta is also described as the place which is the center of our eyebrows, Brivor Madhye, that is the place one should meditate on Parashakti and Paramashiva. And also in the heart. So, and also the physical place is also there, Kashi. Varanasi Purapatim Bhaja Vishwanatham. And then the same Upanishad goes on to say, Atahainam Brahmacharina Uchuhu Kim Japyen Amritatvam Bruhiti Sahovacha Yajnavalkyaha. The Brahmacharis asked Yajnavalkya Maharshi, by what holy recitation, by what japa one attains immortality? And then the reply comes from Yajnavalkya Maharshi, Shatarudriyeneti etanyeva hava amritasya namani etairha va amruto bhavatiti evam evaitad Yajnavalkyaha. He says, by chanting the Shatarudriyam, which is in the center of the Vedas, by that alone, by chanting of the Shatarudriyam alone, one can attain immortality. There is no other way. And Amrito, he says, uses the word Amrita, which is a very, very often used epithet again in the Vedas and Upanishads for Lord Shiva. We are going to see that soon. So Shatarudriyam, by chanting the names, there are 300 beautiful names described in the Rudram for Lord Shiva, which cannot be applied for any other demigod like Brahma, Vishnu and Indra. It is referring only to Mahadeva. There are 150 to 200 Upabrahmanams referring where Shatarudriyam is chanted only for Lord Shiva and not anyone else. And then coming to Amrita. Yak Shatarudriyam adite so agniputo bhavati surapanat puto bhavati. Kaivalya Upanishad also says, Yak Shatarudriyam, just by chanting Shatarudriyam, one will get rid of all the sins that he has done. And then he becomes fit for going back eternally to Parakailasha and serve Mahadeva eternally. There is no coming back. And then Amrita, coming to the word Amrita, Amrita means immortality. Amritartam prapannartam yasavidya pradayini aharnisha maham vande tam ishana manoramam. Mahadevi is described as Manorama, beautiful woman. And Manohara is Paramashiva, beautiful man. Manonmani is Parashakti, Manonmana is Paramashiva. So, we see in Siddhanta Shikamani, this mantra comes, Amritartam prapannartam, O Parashakti, only by your grace one can attain the blessings of Lord Shiva. One can attain the grace of Lord Shiva by your grace. Without having your grace, one cannot attain Mahadeva. So, please engage me in the service of Mahadeva. Please show me the pathway to immortality. Please show me the path to attain Lord Shiva. So, we beg our dear mother, Tripura Sundari, for showing us the path to attain Lord Shiva. Amritartam prapannartam, Amrita word is used. And then the Upanishads alternatively very often use this word. Atharva Shiras, Yovai Rudraksa Bhagavan, Yaccha Amritam Tasmai Vai Namo Namaha. That Bhagavan Paramashiva is referred to as Amrita. Apama Somam Amrita Abuma Ganma Jyotir Avidama Devan. So it is described, again he is described as Amrita. Soma, Parashakti and Paramashiva is described as Amrita. They only can give immortality to the Jivatmas. Oma Ojyotira Somritam Brahma Bhurbhuva Suvarom. Again, it comes in the Atharva Shiras Upanishad. The supreme reality is described as Amrita. And Jabala Upanishad, Brihad Jabala Upanishad, Bhasma Jabala Upanishad, Mameva Viditva Amritatvameti. Mahadeva says in Bhasma Jabala that I alone am described as Amrita. Soma Shakti Amrita Soma Shakti Amritamayaha Shakti Kari Tanuhu. Brihad Jabala Upanishad says that. Jabala Upanishad says that. Shvetashvatara Upanishad Ksharam Pradhanam Amritaksharam Haraha. The material universe, from the blade of a grass till Vishnu, everything is bound to destruction. But Amritaksharam Haraha, that Mahadeva is imperishable. He is immortal. Ya etad viduramritaste bhavanti. Nyatma devam muchyate sarva pashaihi. Just by meditating on that Lord Shiva, just by engaging in bhakti to Mahadeva, by surrendering to Lord Shiva and Parashakti, one will get that immortality. Ya etad viduramritaste bhavanti. Angushtamatra Purushontaratma Sada Jananam Hridage Sannivishtaha Hridamanisha Manasa Viklipto Ya etad viduramritaste bhavanti. Just by meditating on that supreme reality who is referred to being in the size of a thumb in the heart, just by meditating on him and just by engaging in bhakti to him, just by spreading his glories to the entire universe, one will get relieved from the repeated cycles of birth and death and attain him. It is described as Amrita. And Kaivalya Upanishad, na karmana na prajagadhanena tyage naike amritatvamanushukho. Na karmana na prajagadhanena tyage naike. By surrendering, by Tyaga, Mahadeva is called as Tyagaraja. So by giving up things, by giving up the materialistic attachments and by having attachment for Lord Shiva and by utilizing everything in the service of Mahadeva, one will get that ultimate, one will attain the ultimate immortality. So like that there are various places. Vidvan Brahma Amrito Bhavet, Pancha Brahma Upanishad. And Shiva Sankalpa Upanishad also talks about Amritena Sarvam, Trembakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam, Urvarukamiva Bandhanan, Mrityor Mukshigam Amritat. Tanme Manaha Shiva Sankalpamastu. Trembaka mantram is present in all the Vedas. Urvarukamiva Bandhanan, Mrityor Mukshigam Amritat. Amritat. Lead me to immortality, O Mahadeva. We ask that to Samba Shiva only and not anyone else. So like that there are various references referring that Tarakam refers only to Mahadeva. He alone can liberate the Jiva from the repeated cycles of birth and death. Coming to Rudram, Rudram says, Namas Somaya cha. Rudram in the 8th Anuvakam, it says, Namas Somaya cha Rudraya cha Namak Tamraya cha Runaya cha Namak Shankaya cha Pashupatake cha Nama Ugraya cha Bhimaya cha Namo Agre Vadaya cha Dure Vadaya cha Namo Hantre Chaganiyase cha Namo Vrikshebhyo Harikeshebhyo Namak Taraya Namak. Note the point here. Taraya. Tarakam. Mahadeva is referred to as Tarakam. He alone liberates the Jiva from the repeated cycles of birth and death. How many places in the Vedas and Upanishads where Tarakam is referring only to Mahadeva and not anyone else? We see that. And then it goes on to say, Namastaraya namaksham bhave chamayo bhave chanamaksham karaya chamayaskaraya chanamak shivaya cha shivataraya cha namashivaya comes. Shamkaraya cha mayaskaraya cha namak shivaya cha shivataraya cha. Namah Shivaya comes in the center of the Vedas. If you have to see the Vedas in a chronological order, it is Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharvana. And Yajur Veda has 2 Vedas in it, Krishna Yajur Vedam, Shukla Yajur Vedam. So Rig Vedam, Shukla Yajur Vedam, Krishna Yajur Vedam, Sama Vedam, Atharvana Vedam. The one that comes in the middle is Krishna Yajur Vedam. Krishna Yajur Vedam We have Taittiriya Samhita in the middle. Within the Taittiriya Samhita, Chaturtha Kande, that is the fourth canto, is in the middle. Within the fourth canto, fifth kandam is in the middle. And within the fifth kandam is actually Rudram, which is the center, the essence of the Vedas. And within the Rudram, we have the Namah Shivaya Panchakshara Mantram is in the middle of the Vedas. And within the Panchakshara Mantram, Shiva, the word Shiva is the center of Panchakshara Mantra. So the word Shiva itself is in the center of the Vedas. We see that. So Rudram talks about it. And then all the names, all the names refer to Lord Shiva alone and not anyone else. So the names of Brahma, like Brahma, Hiranyagarbha, Vanipati, Vidata, and the names of Vishnu, like Vishnu, Narayana, Rama, Krishna, Vasudeva, Hari. The names of Indra, like Indra, Mahendra, Surendra, Shachipati. All these names refer only to Mahadeva. And all the names of Lakshmi, Saraswati and Indrani originally refer to Parashakti only. But there are specific names of Lord Shiva which leads one to immortality. There are direct names of Lord Shiva which is told in the Shatarudriyam. And specifically Namah Shivaya is the greatest mantra in all the 4 yugas. There is not a mantra that is equal to this Namah Shivaya mantram. And Lord Shiva himself says that, Lord Shiva himself says in Harivamsha Purana, 3rd canto, 88th chapter, 61st verse to Krishna, Namani tava govinda yani loke mahanti cha tanyeva mama namani natra karya vicharana. Whatever the names, whatever you are addressed, whatever names that you are addressed in this world, in reality those are my names, O Krishna. And whoever worships you, they actually worship me. Because the Antaratma of Vishnu is Paramashiva and Parashakti. The Antaratma of all the demigods, Devanagam Hridagebhyo. Even the demigods like Brahma, Vishnu and Indra, that includes Vishnu's incarnations like Rama and Krishna. They have, the Antaratma of them is Paramashiva and Parashakti. So the ultimately worship goes to Mahadeva alone and not anyone else. So, but the names, okay fine, then one can say that any name can be chanted because all the names belong to Lord Shiva. But there are specific names, as we saw in the Jabala Upanishad, Yajnavalkya Maharshi says, Shatarudriyam. The names that is mentioned in the Shatarudriyam are the most important names that leads one to immortality, and specifically the mantra, the highest mantra is Namah Shivaya, which comes in the center of the Vedas. That is the foremost of all the mantras. That is the foremost of all the mantras in the Vedas. There is not a mantra that is equal to it. And that alone is Taraka Mantram, which leads one to Mahadeva. And now, we see there are references, in the Shastras where Mahadeva, there are some misconceptions. People say that Mahadeva is meditating on somebody. Mahadeva chants the names of somebody, Mahadeva is chanting the names of other devatas and Mahadeva meditates on other devatas. It is not done by Mahadeva himself because Samba Shiva doesn't meditate on anybody and doesn't worship anybody. It is done by Kala Rudra, who is the Amsha of Lord Shiva. In the Padma Purana Patala Kanda 114th chapter 247th verse, Lord Shiva says that he is not meditating on anybody. In reality, he doesn't meditate on anybody. Because there is a place where Mahadeva, he goes and he does Sandhyavandanam. He mutters prayers while reciting, he mutters some prayers while doing Sandhyavandanam. And then demigods like Brahma, Vishnu and Indra, they are totally confused. Oh Mahadeva, the entire Vedas glorify you. Even the Vedas and Upanishads cannot understand you. You are the ultimate reality, supreme reality, and whom are you worshipping? And Mahadeva replies, Padma Purana Patala Kanda 114th chapter 247th verse. This is also present in the Narada Puranam Purva Bhagam 79th chapter 200th verse. Shankara Uvacha ध्यायेन किञ्चित् गोविन्द न नमस्येह किञ्चन नोपस्ये कञ्चन हरे न जपिष्येह किञ्चन किन्तु नास्ति कञ्जतूनां प्रवृत्त्यर्थमिदं मया दर्शनीयं हरे ते स्युर् अन्यथा पापकारिणः. He says, "Oh demigods, Brahma, Vishnu and Indra," Mahadeva says, I am not meditating on anybody. I am not saluting anybody. I am not waiting on anybody. I am not reciting the names of anybody. Because I am the supreme reality. There is nothing that is greater than me. There is nothing that is equal to me. Eko rudro nadvitiyaya. But I do this in order to inspire the unbelievers, in order to inspire the atheists, and then show compassion to them. And then lead them into some kind of spiritual activity. I do this in order to inspire the unbelievers, that is the atheists, to engage them in some kind of spiritual activity. Now there are various paths also. If you see in the Agamas, apart from the Shaiva Agamas, there is Ganapatyam, there is Sauram, there is Kaumaram, there is Vaishnavam, there is Shaktam, there is Bauddham, there is Jainam, there is Hiranyagarbham, there is Advaitam. Various paths are there, but all these paths lead one to Mahadeva. And Mahadeva, we see the Karuna Sagaratva of Mahadeva here. So, he is compassionate to all the souls. He doesn't want the souls, his sons and daughters, to take up atheism. So rather than taking up atheism, if I know, okay, fine, because everybody cannot understand Lord Shiva. So Mahadeva, it will take some time for him to understand, this Jiva to understand me, but let him not take up to atheism. He doesn't, So he has given other paths. Let him take up some other paths like Ganapatyam or Vaishnavam or Kaumaram, so that he practices that for many, many lifetimes. And then after practicing that for many, many lifetimes, he will attain perfection and he will come to Shaivism, which is the ultimate philosophy. So that's where Lord Shiva himself says, I am acting as if I am doing these things in order to inspire the atheists and in order to engage the atheists into some kind of spiritual activity, so that they don't engage in sinful activities, they don't remain sinners. So for obliging the world, I am doing these things, but in reality I am not meditating on anybody, I am not waiting on anybody, I am not saluting anybody, I am not reciting the prayers of anybody, because I am the supreme reality. Lord Shiva says that. So this should be understood by people who keep talking that Mahadeva meditates on somebody and Mahadeva is chanting the names of somebody. This is present in Padma Purana and Narada Purana. Lord Shiva says to the demigods Brahma, Vishnu and Indra. So this is there. And Mahadeva also confirms that only he can grant moksha. Again in Padma Purana, Patala Kanda, 114th chapter, 227th verse. Sada Shiva Uvacha Madvakyat Akilam Shuddhayen Madvakyat Amrutam Visham Madvakyat Akila Vedam Madvakyat Devatadayaha. Everything becomes purified by my words, and due to my words, the nectar, that is the poison, becomes nectar, and all Vedas are due to my words. Deities originate, Brahma, Vishnu and Indra originate by my words. They have attained the positions of Brahma, Vishnu and Indra by my words. And then Madvakyat Dharma Vijnanam Madvakyan Moksha Uchyate. Dharma is due to my words, and just by my words, moksha is granted. Mokshanata, Moksheshwara, Muktinata, Mukteshwara is Samba Shiva. He is Tarakeshwara. He is the Lord who liberates the Jiva from the repeated cycles of birth and death, and not anyone else. Mahadevam Vinayomam Bhajate Shraddhaya Saha Nasti Tasya Vinir Mokshaha Samsara Janma Kotibihi. Sutta Samhita. Yajna Vaibhava Kandam, 25th chapter, 52nd verse. Krishna says to his dear devotee Satyasandha, Mahadevam Vinayoma. Casting aside Mahadeva, if one worships me with faith, even if someone worships me with faith for crores and crores of years, casting aside Mahadeva, if someone worships me with faith, even for crores and crores of years, then also he will not attain liberation. He will never attain liberation. These are the words of Krishna to his dear devotee Satyasandha. Nasti tasya vinirmokshaha samsara janma kotibihi. Even if with complete faith he worships me, casting aside Mahadeva, he is never going to get liberation even in crores and crores of births. These are the words of Krishna. And finally he says, just cast aside everything, O dear Satyasandha, and worship Mahadeva alone. Samba Shiva, that Parashakti and Paramashiva alone you need to surrender to. Just cast aside everybody, cast aside Brahma, Indra and me also. Is the words of Krishna to his dear devotee Satyasandha. It's present in the Sutta Samhita, Yajna Vaibhava Kandam, 25th chapter. Very beautiful chapter. So, Mahadeva is Mokshanatha. Samba Shiva, Chandrasekhara is the liberator of all the jivas. And no one, not Brahma, Vishnu or Indra. And now, moving on, where actually Rama himself inquires about the glory of Shiva Namam. We are going to see that. It's present in the Padma Purana, Patalakanda, chapter 111. Shri Rama Uvacha Mahesha Nama Mahatnyam Puja Mahatnyameva cha Namaskarasya Mahatnyam Drishti Mahatnyameva cha Jaladanasya Mahatnyam Dupadanasya Sattama Deepagandhadidanasya Mahatnyam Vadame Guru. Rama asks, tell me the importance of Maheshwara Nama and tell me the importance of worshipping Maheshwara, saluting Maheshwara, and tell me the greatness of having the sight, having the vision of Maheshwara, and importance of offering incense, dupam, deepam, importance of offering incense lamp to Mahadeva. Rama inquires about the glories of Shiva Namam and the worship of Shiva. A story is recited where a person is there and he has been involved in a lot of sinful activities in his entire life. In his entire life he was involved in doing sinful activities. And then at one point in time in his life, he said the word prahara. Prahara means strike. Strike him. Hit him. That's what prahara means. Prahara. Prahara means hit or strike. So he said that word prahara. And then when the time came, the Yamadutas came to take his soul. And then they tried to take him to Yamaloka. And Yama also came there. But the Shivadutas came there and then they did not allow the Yamadutas to touch the body of that person. And the Yamadutas were confused. What are you doing? This person has done sins all his life. And then the Shivadutas fight with the Yamadutas and then they take them. All of them go to Mahadeva. And Mahadeva is beautifully described along with Parvati Mata sitting in the left lap and served by the crores and crores of Shiva Ganas and crores of Brahmas and Vishnus are there serving him. And then Veerabhadra is also there, Nandi is also there, Mahakala is there, all the Shiva Ganas are there. And there Veerabhadra comes to know about, Veerabhadra is a Shiva Gana, and then he comes to know about the thing, he comes to know about this matter, he comes to know about the situation, and then he explains the Yamadutas. Lord Shiva says to the Yamadutas, whatever you have said is true, O Yama and Yamadutas, but this person, he has recited my name. And everyone was confused. Okay, when did he recite your name? So, and then Mahadeva says, Mamaiva lokam pradadami satyam hyanena nama prahareti bhashitam prashabdamatram tvadikam hareti padapradam vai padamirayanti aradam. Yeah. So he says, there was a place, there was a situation in his life where he recited prahara, hit, strike. Because prahara means strike or hit. But the word prahara, prashabda matram, if you split it, prahara. So the word hara comes, we just now saw, ksharam pradhanam amritaksharam haraha. Mahadeva is alone, that immortal reality. So prahara, in that prahara, the word hara comes, which is my name. So since he has recited knowingly, unknowingly, because his intention was not to recite my name, unknowingly he has said prahara, though the meaning of the name, though the meaning of prahara means to hit, the word contains my name hara. So since he has recited that hara, he is fit to come back to me and not to meet the Yamadutas. How wonderful Mahadeva is and how merciful our dear Lord Shiva is. We can see from this chapter. And then Mahadeva goes on to say, Aradam mumstavam japato namasva madiya vakyam cha yamam vadasva natim yatim kirtim upasti mashrita dasyam cha kainkaryamata shrutim vadaha panchaksharetim shatarudriyoktim shivasya kurvanti nate vicharyaha. The one who recites, the one who serves me, the one who offers salutations to me, the one who restrains his senses and meditates on me and Parashakti, the one who recites the Panchakshara mantra, which is the Taraka mantram, Namah Shivaya, the one who recites the Shatarudriyam, the one who recites the Puranas in front of me, the one who recites the sacred ash, the one who applies the sacred ash all over his body and on his forehead, the one who wears the Rudraksha Mala, he will come back to me. He will never meet the Yamadutas. He will transcend Brahma, Vishnu and Indra and he will eternally come back to me. There is no doubt about this. Lord Shiva says this. And then the chapter completes and then the Yamadutas go back and then they repent whatever they have done. They glorify Lord Shiva and they glorify the person who got moksha and then they leave. And the chapter ends by saying, Ya idam shrunuyan nityam punyakyanam anuttamam vimuktaha sarvapapebhyo yati shamkara sannidim. He who listens to this every day is freed from all sins and goes near Mahadeva. Shankara Sannidim. Shankara Sannidhyam, Shiva Sannidhyam is attained. The one who listens to this account every day. Mahadeva says. And with that said, I would like to mention about one interesting verse in Rudram. Now, the one who wants to liberate, the one who wants to get liberated, we saw this before, he needs to surrender to that personality who is beyond the shackles of birth and death, who is birthless, deathless, who is not bound by birth, old age, disease and death, and who is beyond the three modes of material nature, and who is not bound by kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. And that is Mahadeva alone, who is not bound by virtues and sins. Yate Rudra Shiva Tanura Gora Papakashini. Rudram describes Mahadeva as Apapakashini, the one who is not bound by virtues and sins. We see there is an account, there is a situation that is stated in the Puranas where the rishis curse Mahadeva and nothing happened to Mahadeva. So he is not bound by curses and he is not bound by sins and he is not bound by virtues. He is not bound by papa punya. He alone can be the supreme reality. Mahadeva is beyond papa punya. Apapakashini, he is not bound by sins. Now let's consider, Valmiki Ramayanam, where Rama himself admits that Rama himself admits to Lakshmana that he is bound by sins. Valmiki Ramayanam, Aranyakandam, 63rd chapter, 4th verse. Purvam maya nunam abhipsitani papani karmanyasakrit kritani tatraya madhyapatito vipako dukkena dukkam yadaham vishami. Rama says to Lakshmana after losing Sita, in the past, in my past janmas, in my past births, I have done various sinful deeds, O Lakshmana, and I am suffering for that. So because when you do a papa, you will get in return. Karma works like that. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So when you do a punya, you will get that in return. When you do a papa, you will get that in return. So Rama says, I have done various sinful deeds in my past lives, and that's what is descending on me. I am facing the karma for that. Rama himself admits that he is bound by sins. And this is connected to a story that is explained in various Puranas where Tulasi curses Vishnu. Priyangadam samaligya chuchumbara tilolupa mokshadapyadi saukyam tu vrinda mohana sambhavam. Uttarakandam 15th chapter 42nd verse. Vishnu, looking at the beauty of Tulasi, he gets attracted to the beauty of Tulasi. So Vishnu, he takes the form of a sage, and then he goes and informs Tulasi that Jalandhara is dead. And then Tulasi is shocked and she doesn't know what to do. And then here it describes Vishnu takes the form of Jalandhara and then he mates with Tulasi. Looking at the beauty of Tulasi, he forgets Lakshmi and he forgets everything and he unites with her. And then Tulasi, after realizing this, she curses. Oh Vishnu, just like you took the form of a sage and confused me, someone in the future will take the form of a sage and confuse you and take away your young wife. And that's what happened. We see Ravana took the form of a sage and then during the absence of Rama and Lakshmana, he took away Sita. So this says that, and after that, if we see after losing his wife Shiva, in Shiva Gita, which is a part of Padma Purana, it is described that Rama met Agastya Maharshi and then was initiated into Mahapashupata Diksha, and then he has the vision of Mahadeva, Samba Shiva. He also has the vision of the Virata Rupa, Vishwarupa of Lord Shiva, and he surrenders to Mahadeva. Mahadeva blesses him, and then through the grace of Mahadeva, Rama was able to win Ravana. So the reason for bringing this is that the supreme reality is described as beyond virtues and sins. So whereas we see Rama is bound by virtues and sins, and also Vishnu was bound by a curse. So Brahma, Vishnu, Indra, Munayor, Janma, Mrityu, Jaraditaha. Brahma, Vishnu and Indra are bound by birth, old age, disease and death. Whereas Mahadeva is beyond the shackles of birth and death. He is birthless and deathless. So he is Tarakeshvara. He is, his Namam, Namah Shivaya alone is the Taraka Mantram. And before ending, I would like to mention about, there are some unauthentic Upanishads like Rama Ragasya Upanishad, Rama Tapani Upanishad, Gopala Tapani Upanishad, Tarasara Upanishad, Krishna Upanishad and Kalisantarna Upanishad. These Upanishads have not been commented by any of the Acharyas before the 16th century. These are all unauthentic Upanishads. And also, even if you see nowadays, people take up to Tulasidas Ramcharitmanas, which is not even a part of our scriptures. Adhyatma Ramayanam, Kamba Ramayanam, Tulasidas Ramcharitmanas, it cannot be considered as a part of the Sanatana Dharma scripture. So these kind of unauthentic Upanishads. So in order to decide on who is the supreme reality and who the Vedas, Upanishads, Puranas and Itihasas are glorifying, we have to consider only the authentic scriptures. The Vedas, Upanishads, Itihasas, Agamas, Puranas, Upapuranas, Smritis, Dharmashastras, Arthashastras, etc. So these things, these unauthentic Upanishads and also the Ramcharitmanas, Tulasidas Ramcharitmanas and Adhyatma Ramayanam and Kamba Ramayanam cannot be considered as authentic and cannot be considered to decide on who is the supreme reality. So with that said, so Namah Shivaya alone is the greatest mantra. Sapta Kotishu Mantreshu Mantraha Panchaksharo Mahan. The greatest mantra in all the 4 yugas. There is not a mantra that is equal to Namah Shivaya or greater. There is not a mantra that is equal to or greater than Namah Shivaya. So Namah Shivaya alone is the Taraka Mantram. So with that said, thank you for giving me this opportunity. I will chant the Kshama Prarthana mantra. यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं तु यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देव परमेश्वर नमोऽस्तु ते विसर्गबिन्दुमात्राणि पदपादाक्षराणि च न्यूनानि चातिरिक्तानि क्षमस्व परमेश्वर अपराधसहस्राणि क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया दासोऽयमिति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व परमेश्वर अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष महेश्वरी अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष महेश्वर एतत् सर्वं श्री उमामहेश्वर परब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु ललिताम्बिके साम्ब शिवार्पणमस्तु श्रीमती गौरी समेत साम्ब शिवार्पणमस्तु करचरणकृतं वाक्कायजं कर्मजं वा श्रवणनयनजं वा मानसं वा अपराधं विहितम् अविहितं वा सर्वम् एतत् क्षमस्व जय जय करुणा अब्दे श्री महादेव शम्भो माता च पार्वती देवी पिता देवो महेश्वर बन्धवा शिवभक्तांश्च स्वदेशो भुवनत्रयं साम्ब शिवाय नमः साम्ब शिवाय नमः साम्ब शिवाय नमः हर ओं तत्सत्।